Hello, lovelies. Thanks for coming back to see the full reading. Today's reading is from the Green Witch's Oracle deck. As I shuffled, we've got 6 cards that came out, and then they do have a 6-card spread. It's called The Tree. I'm just going to zoom in here for those of you who are interested in what the reading is about or what the cards are for. So it goes into what's rooting us, what is making us grow, and what are we reaching out to get nourishment from, kind of idea. So pause here if you want that information. Now this 6 cards, again, here to pause on this one if you want to know what each card represents. We'll kind of go over it as the reading progresses, but today we're going to sit with this reading in particular, and let's get started. So for today, the first card that we have here in our deck spoke on the root of the problem. So now, a situation we can look at, right? It's not necessarily problem per se, 111 on the clock when I say that. So it's the beginning of awareness, if you will. So the Hearth card, safety, comfort, spiritual connection. Here in this position, this card is saying that there is a longing for this type of energy, if that makes sense. There is this, if you close your eyes and think of what feels like home to you, not the physical location, but just to tap into that emotion itself. And then once you find the feeling, to look around and see what that brings, right? But the goal on this card in this position as the root of our tree is saying that you have this longing to feel like that, to have this, open your eyes every day and go, oh yes, I'm there. I can feel the warmth of my experience. I can feel like the metaphorical fireplace heat. You know, that beautiful, dry, warm, that it reaches your bones and heats you from the inside kind of feeling. This feeling of having a hearth, and the hearth is that place where not only do you warm the home and light up the house, but there's food preparation, there's displaying of things that bring you joy and happiness. You display them on your mantelpiece, right? So here is an idea of, if you were to cultivate that type of look for you, what does that feel like? And you're longing for that feeling, but you haven't been able to get it, and now you're asking, essentially, why, what's going on. So now we'll move into the trunk, where the problem is, why we're not able to sustain this. And that comes in the form of our watering can. The watering can is asking for help and sharing burdens. What this is in this position telling me is that we tend to overwater, in that we help everybody else, but we don't have enough to help ourselves afterwards. And so this happens, and you're not even necessarily aware of it. It's very much in a place of automatic. It's an autopilot type of experience you have. You've been so focused on, your family, you're raising your children, or your career, and providing a work ethic that you value. There's something that you've been doing that is so innate, but now it's a matter of realizing that in that process you haven't been receiving. You've been outpouring and not receiving what you need in order to make things true for you. So whether it's always helping other people, but when you need help, you're not asking for it, or you're saying yes to people that you are overextended with already. When it comes to work and things, yeah, you're working, you're doing all the things, you're saving all the money, but are you enjoying your work, your progress, the fact that you have invested, or are you spoiling yourself in the process, right? There's just this matter of receiving in a way that is going to not, it's going to rejuvenate you, right? Like in this position, this card is just saying what can you be asking help with that you haven't been, or where have you been overextending? And we need to start reevaluating that and come to a more sustainable way of doing it, right? Overpouring into some things is not going to, overpouring into the you giving help to other people, like, uh, I'm seeing now like a budgeting table where you have all your envelopes, but if you put all your money into, helping someone else out, where is your savings? Where is your, miscellaneous fund? Where's your, whatever the case? It's just, this is where it's unaligned, right? So now it's a matter of taking a moment because you want this sense, you want this emotion. So now it's making sure you plug all the holes of where you're wasting that energy. It's like having, a fireplace with all the windows open. We have to contain the heat. How? Now, the next card that comes through to help us with that is what the heart of the problem is. The Rosemary card. Now, this one took me a while to try to get an understanding of how to explain this. And because rosemary is very resilient, it's a spiny kind of piney scenting plant that is grown on stems that are very solid and secure. They're very, not brittle, I was going to say, but I'm thinking just like a miniature pine tree, right? So here they are very resilient. They are strong. And what is this saying? How is this to be the heart of the problem? Aren't these good things? Like even the dowel here, it's I forget the name of it, but it's used to prepare wood for joining other pieces in order to not split the wood. So this card suggests a preparedness, an awareness, a thinking ahead kind of vibe. But what it is saying in this position is that you have, again, that autopilot. It's that being of service to all of these people, but not having reevaluated, do all these people really need your help? Do all these other envelopes really need your funds? Not that it's not good to help when you can, but you haven't looked up long enough to go, oh wait, I've got to reevaluate where I'm putting my funds because I don't need to be giving over here anymore. They've got their stuff figured out. Now I need to do me more. Take time for myself. Take time for what brings me a sense of home. Because as much as you've been putting all this energy, even, justifying why people have hurt you, or justifying, anything really, anything that is what you would perceive as this idea of sticking it out, of being the bigger person, of, allowing other people to have their hard days. No more of that. That is that resilient, that strong, but the problem now is it's created a pattern, a habit, where as much as you want to get to this feeling, you can't because you're already overextended. So now it's a matter, yes, okay, their preparedness now is to take back that energy, to come back home and go, oh, all right, I need to refocus where I'm spending my time and my energy. And now these three cards come in as we've got 4, 5, 6. So where you can draw strength and seek solutions. Help will come from this area, unmasked. And then we've got areas and ideas to open to in order to advance. So what we've got here is we've got to start cutting intentionally. Cutting things that don't need our help, our time. Here we've got focus, regrowth, and letting go. It's a matter of letting go of being nice to those people in your mind of your past or whatever the case, justifying things. If they were mean to you, it's allowed. It's allowed to think of them as mean to you. And saying, you know what, because of that, I can respect the fact that my boundaries were crossed, that wasn't okay. You're no longer justified in your actions with my energy. I'm cutting that loose. I'm letting it go. You can go, whatever. Because you're holding on to all of these strings that are making it okay to be overlooked, to be undermined, to have your boundaries crossed. You're holding on to too many of those because you've looked at their lives and seen they are learning their own lessons. Yes, great, that's fantastic. But you have to let go of those cords now. Those are not yours to hold on to. You need to cut them. It's like I'm seeing, because of that woodworking reference, right? We're in a workshop. We've had a pattern from years ago when we first started making this chair, but we've never looked up to realize, wait, is the chair being used? Is it there's there something else I can do to make it easier to carry, easier to sit in, more comfortable? We haven't, as much as like we've had, yes, you can sit, that's all it needs. Now it's a matter of embellishing to get to what you want. How do you want this chair to be? Not what will help the masses. No, take the time to be the artist about your own chair. And this is your life. The next card that comes through in that position of where things are going to start to feel better just because, the broom. The broom comes in with this energy of, energy clearing and freshening. So as you start to rework your patterns, your blueprints, you're going to start to see, things that need to just clean and clear. It's going to happen naturally. It's not going to be something you're going to be necessarily aware of as the clearing happens. And this is not a matter of cleaning, scrubbing in order to get rid of. No, it's just, you've trimmed the branches and now you just have to clean up the grass so that the flowers can come up. Because if you leave all the trimmings of the pine tree that you've trimmed, nothing is going to come through. So it's doing that little bit of like intentional but unconscious cleaning is going to happen. And that's what's going to allow for other things to come up, which will be an available resource energy-wise to figure out your own boundaries. What is okay, what is not. And to sit there, and a boundary is like a hedge. Now, the hedge is something, a path you follow. It is your job to stay within your path. When you break a boundary, it's you jumping over the hedge to help someone else's hedge, to help someone else's maze, to help someone else through their maze. Sorry, that was very difficult to say. So now it's a matter of going back to your hedge, because you've reached this fork in the road of, how do I want this? I want to feel at home. But how do I get there? What have I been doing? I've been overwatering in places. What's been happening is every time you get to this fork, you choose to go back to old patterns and habits because they've worked, they've sustained, or you'll get to a point where you'll get to a fork in the road when a situation calls for your attention, asking you to jump the hedge. And now it's being aware of going, okay, no, I have to stay within my own boundary. That's my responsibility. So what can I do, say, or how can I be to be able to do that and move forward in order to reach my ultimate happy place, my home? Where's my home? And then you'll be able to see a little bit clearer that this hedge allows you to see other people, to allow you to the option to choose where to go. But it's up to you to make that choice and to come out of that autopilot, to come out of that space where you're always bending for other people and strong for other people and aware for other people, resilient for other people. It's a matter of now coming into the self, to trim all those places, to trim all those things and beliefs and systems, and you'll come to be more aware of where you are in your own maze, in order to look up and see, oh, that's where the heat's coming from. That's, if I look up and see the options I have in this maze that I've created for myself to stay in, where do I need to go to lead me to this? That's when the trimming you'll see come up, and that's when all of a sudden you're going to start to clear things. Because now you're allowing also to ask for help when needed, which is going to allow you to receive the energy you need to receive and to be resilient, but to be prepared in a way that aligns with you, as opposed to just mass production, so that you can go home again. So this is our reading for today. I hope it helps. If you'd like some tarot added to this to get more details on yourself, please reach out. This is again a collective reading. Take what resonates. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, everybody. Happy New Year, and we shall see you tomorrow.